wash my hands after that. I don't understand.
Doing the dishes?
Oh,
Doing the chores?
18 months ago, we purchased a hurricane-damaged sailboat with the dream of sailing her around the world. We started documenting this adventure each week for all of our family and friends to follow along. Since then, we've been learning, laughing, and working harder than we ever have in our lives to make this dream come true. If you'd like to support these videos and help us splash, come join us on Patreon.
Oh, please.
stop.
Tell us what you've been up to today.
I was working
You were working where?
on an RV roof.
RV roof. Did you get it done?
Yes, I did.
'Cause you are awesome. So what have we done today? You don't know? Did we do some schoolwork?
Liberty and Gabe didn't.
Liberty and Gabe didn't do their work today.
I did mine.
Is it true you didn't do any schoolwork today?
You
So-
saw from me, I look like trash.
So, did it start?
Finally,
Finally?
pays to not leave the lights on in it for 2 days.
Yeah. So what is going on with the truck?
It is squirting diesel fluid into the antifreeze.
That sounds like a bad thing.
Yes, because diesel doesn't cool as well as antifreeze, and also can be a little more flammable than antifreeze. But apparently where the injectors are, there's some sort of cup around them that allows the pressure to be diverted into the cylinder, and it's got some sort of O-ring on it, and one or more has failed, so that the fluid is leaking past the O-ring and into the water jacket for the engine, which is where the antifreeze is, and it literally filled our radiator all the way to the top and overflowed the radiator all over inside the engine. And so they have to pull the injectors and pull those sleeves and redo all of them because they don't know which one's leaking.
So is that where we're headed now?
So that's where we're headed now, is to drop it off at the diesel shop.
Alright, let's get going.
As you can see, our life is filled with the everyday chores that most people encounter. Speaking of chores, whose turn to dust and clean this car? In any given week, we get to work on the boat for 2 or 3 days. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It really depends on how much work Todd has. It's always a challenge to find a new mechanic in a new area. These guys have been really good to us. How long did they say it was going to take?
Probably a couple days. He figures better part of a day at least to do it. But the stuff is on its way in. There's a special tool apparently they need to have for pulling the cups out that's ordered and on its way in. It should be here in the morning. So
Awesome. So if you are in Aransas Pass, Texas and need a mechanic, check these guys out. Hi guys. We wanted to take just a minute and do a real live in the middle of this because our videos are not real time. We're several weeks behind what's actually happening in the world. And what's happening is COVID-19. We wanted to let you know how that's impacting us. The reality is it's not doing a lot for us. We just received a stay-at-home order for the area that we're in. But if you read it, it basically says they're keeping the trails and the parks open so that we can get out and do outdoor activities. And I'm thinking the outdoor activity here at the boat is just as good as hiking or playing at the park. And they just want you to stay 6 feet apart from people. Since it's just us here at the boat, I think we're going to be okay doing that. They also are allowing essential personnel to continue to work, which is good because Todd is listed under essential personnel as a construction worker. The boatyard appears to fall in that category as they do commercial marine vessels. So I think for now, we're going to be okay just bouncing back and forth between the trailer and the boat to work on it. Yeah, so the reality is that our life hasn't changed a lot because we don't do much. The kids are really struggling not being able to see their friends, go to the homeschool activities on Fridays, be able to go up and see the cousins. Like, those things are hard and some of our kids aren't very happy about them. But our everyday life of working on the boat, Todd being able to go and earn some money for us to work on the boat, all of that is basically staying the same right now. We'll keep you updated in future videos if anything changes for us in terms of how it's impacting our ability to work. But for now, let's get back to what's happening around here. A couple of episodes ago, we shared the process of unstepping our masts, do-it-yourself style. Today, Todd and Gabe are inspecting and stripping the masts.
We're going to take it out, so. Good. When it goes through and comes out right here. And I need it. So one of the things that we wanted to do when the masts were down was do some good inspection on them, find out where leaks were coming from, check the wiring, check for corrosion, put new instruments and stuff on the top, fix the area around the partner, the mast collar. And I had put some Spartite Mast Sealer on, and that Spartite Mast Sealer is kind of a mild epoxy type product that is designed to seal that gap and help prevent water from coming in. There's one problem with that, and let me show you what that is. So here's our collar. Here is the Spartite. So it goes over the top and down inside to fill that space. The collar is supposed to stay on the boat. The mast goes up. The Spartite goes up with the mast. In between here and here, all of that has been coated with Vaseline so that the Spartite does not stick to the collar. Problem we have is the collar has a couple spots in it that are slightly bent, shall we say. They're bent outward as they go down. This angle right here should be a 90-degree angle. But as you look at it, it looks like it's going uphill, which means that the lower part of the bottom part of the collar is thicker than the top part of the collar. Well, if the Spartite fills up that gap in between, when you try to lift it up out, you're trying to pull a thicker part of the epoxy through a narrower hole, which doesn't work. And it's only in a couple spots. I don't know if it's just been bent, but it's not perpendicular to the mast. And so the Spartite didn't work. So we're gonna have to chip it all out, even to get the collar off. Let's go look at the mizzen really quick and see what the mizzen looked like. Yeah. The mizzen, this is the old sealant that was put in the mizzen, right there. And it seems to be holding pretty good, but in order to clean this up and put it all back together, we're gonna have to pull it off anyway. So we're gonna clean those up and go to town on them. So another interesting thing that we discovered on our mast when we pulled it was we had a cotter pin that was ready to come out. So right here, this guy right here is just barely in there. So if that cotter pin had come all the way out, eventually that bolt could actually come off, and that would release those lower shrouds, which wouldn't be a good thing. Let's walk up to the top of the mast here. So here's our VHF antenna. It's just, you know, just not in any good shape. This is going to be replaced, and this is where our wind stuff is. Pretty hammered. This right here is going to be all replaced with new. That's all part of our new rigging. Those are all coming from Caligo Marine. So we're excited to see how that's going to work. Working with John Franta has been really good. He's a pretty amazing guy, and he's done a lot of good stuff for us. And he's going to help us walk through how to re-rig this ourselves, which is way cool. I have to remove this collar.
Now that the masts are stripped, they'll need a good cleaning, and we'll have to check all the screws and welds to make sure that they're in good shape. This is going to need a little work.
All right, here we got strings where our different halyards come out. So I can remember which halyard went into which slot. The mizzen stripped. Collar went right there. Got my string coming out. Got my halyard marked. See, this sheave is seized up. It is no longer working. It doesn't turn at all. So we're gonna have to fix that. This is the topping lift right here. And that's where the triadic backstay hooks.
I can't get
You're
up.
what?
I'm bored.
How could you possibly be bored? You have the greatest life ever.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
We used to do schoolwork.
School.
No.
School.
No.
Yeah. I'm supposed to run some errands here, but one of the challenges is taking people with me. This is kind of my life right this second. There's not a lot of room in here for stuff or people. I can fit one person. I can fit me. That means you have to stay home.
No. Wait.
And that means you have to stay home.
No, I can get up on the dashboard.
Up on the dashboard. I don't think the policeman would like that.
That door
Yep.
is shut by itself. Daddy.
With the truck. Will you stop that, please? Pick up that. Hey.
What do you
With the truck being in the shop, broken, not working, I got 2 sets of tools in here. I have construction tools and I have RV Armor roof tools, and it is really kind of a pain in the butt to switch them out and move them around. So I really need the truck back.
Dad.
Maybe it'll be back today at the end of the day. Maybe not until Wednesday because I'm going out of town for a couple days.
Dad.